Welcome to the channel, friends. So today's video is going to be a Corvette update video, and I just want to talk about how far along I am in the process. I have the K-Tech CNC ported heads on the way back to me. They should be here in a couple days now. So I'm getting ready now to take out the stock cam and replace it with the Brian Tooley Stage 4. Now, I took off everything here in the front. As you can see, I took off the timing cover. I took out the oil pump from the crank, and now only thing left is to remove this plate with the 4 bolts, and then the stock cam will slide right out. Then I can go ahead and prepare the new cam and install that. I will need to remove the AC condenser here and move it out of the way so I can get enough room and clearance to maneuver that camshaft out and in. But I want to go over just the process. I'm not going to go over every single detail because there's a lot to do and a lot of prep work, a lot of cleaning, a lot of, kind of... One of the things I actually did have to do is right here on the bench, the oil pump. I had to deburr the bottom flange here where the ports are. Now these are super sharp, and it's very common to rip your oil pan gasket if you do not take care and insert feeler gauges underneath this port as you're pulling off the oil pump from the actual block, from the oil pan, because it's just such a tight fit, and these corners are so sharp that it damages the oil pan gasket. So to prevent that, I went ahead, when I reinstalled this, I deburred everything on the inside and the outside of the port, as you can see there, and then I hit it with 1500 grit sandpaper to smooth out all the edges, so there's no chance of anything tearing on the oil pan gasket, that nice O-ring seal it's got. So while I'm here, I'll go over all the parts you see here on the bench. So as you can see, the oil pump is off. I cleaned that up, got it prepped. I have here the comp cam's a hex adjust timing set. So this is the lower piece, and this is the camshaft gear, so the upper piece. This is the hex adjust, so this allows you to adjust in 1 degree increments, and then this right here allows you to adjust in 2 degree increments. So you have a lot of flexibility. I can dial in the cam dead on, and I will be degreeing in the cam. As we move around here, you can see this is the stock timing set, stock tensioner. I'm replacing it with an LS9 tensioner, which is actually an upgrade. This is a AC Delco part, so that's the better route. This is part of the timing set. I also have a K-Tech C5R chain. This is the best chain you can put in a Vette. New cam plate that comes with the Brian Tooley cam install kit. So that gives you all the gaskets you need. New seal, new water pumps, seals and everything, gaskets. ARP, 3 bolts for the camshaft. So this right here is the ABS modulator control unit, whatever you want to call it. You have to take out the whole steering rack and this and the mount right here to get access to the harmonic balancer. So it's kind of a pain in the ass, but you have to remove all the steering rack and all that stuff so you have room to work, and allow you to put the puller, which is right here. This is the puller for the harmonic balancer. Works great. You have to have this kind of puller with the rods. That's the only way it's going to come out. I use this puller here along with this adapter that I made to remove this lower sprocket from the crank. It's not easy to remove. You have to have a special kind of tool. You have to have some kind of extension that I kind of custom made to fit in there. One side's radiused, one side has a cone, and then this will fit in there and grab it on the back side here. That worked out great. Moving along, here we have the stock harmonic balancer. I'm replacing it with the ATI Super Damper. This is a stock diameter size. I'm not going with the overdrive on this car because I plan on going with a smaller pulley, a 2.175 pulley on my blower. So here is the mounting adapter, the mounting hub for the ATI As you can see, I mean, this stuff takes a lot of time. It's really time consuming. I still have to get to the blower. I have to port that out and, you know, clean it up, change out the bearings, and fully address that. And what else? I'll show you guys over here what I've done to the timing cover. So I went ahead and dressed up the timing cover nice with some black metallic flake paint. Looks really nice. Here are the valves. I'm waiting for the K-Tech CNC ported heads. They should be here in a couple days, so once I get those, I'll go ahead and get everything put into them and do a vacuum test on them. I'm going to make my own little vacuum plate and test each valve to make sure that I have good vacuum. So that's a test that I want to verify, and then possibly lap in the valves as needed. So I'll be doing that test. Some new stuff here. I have the Kong 5-inch carbon fiber intake along with the new filter and kind of the basic stuff here, all your components from the front drive and the water pump and all that jazz. But so right here we have the stock snout. I will have to send this out to Kong and get a Kong modification for the snout. That's going to open it up quite a bit, so I have to get on that, get that out soon. But as you can see, a lot of stuff all over the workshop. Right over there is a steering rack. It's just, you have to take out the steering rack. It's kind of a pain, but it is what it is. What else do I want to show you guys? Like I said, I will be degreeing in the cam to get it dead nuts on, and that way I get the most out of the cam and it's translating properly to the rocker arms, and that way I get the most power that I paid for. So as you can see here, everything is still apart. I'm gonna go ahead now and kind of go through the process of taking out the old cam. I'm not gonna talk too much. I'm just gonna do a quick clip of me taking out the old cam and then installing the new one, and kind of documenting the process a little bit as I'm going along, because I know some of you guys really like this kind of content. So I'm going to put it out there for you guys and just let me know what you think. So let me get started now, getting everything prepped, and start taking out the stock cam, and then get the Brian Tooley Stage 4 ready and get it installed in the block. Alright, so welcome back, guys. I'm doing a little math and a little measuring here. I just want to verify that my camshaft is correct by physically measuring it. I have the cam spec sheet here, as you saw in the video. I have here my 1 to 2 inch Mitutoyo digital micrometers. I set it on a gauge block and it's reading dead on. And I have my Mitutoyo calipers as like a secondary check. So the calipers are not good for this. You need a set of micrometers that are very accurate and calibrated. So because of the way the calipers are made, they're not that great in precision measurement. They're good to about 1,000ths or so. But for this task here, I'm using the micrometers because they're just much more accurate and much more stiff. The jaws will tilt if you put pressure, and it's kind of tough because you have the lobe and the cam, and measuring it is not easy, okay? Even with these micrometers, I'm really good at measuring with micrometers. I've used them for the past 15, 20 years, and I know exactly what I'm doing with these. So these are the results that I got. I just want to verify. So on the intake, my lift, so I only can verify lift. I really can't measure duration. So I just want to verify that if I can. So my nominal is 629 for the intake and 600 for the exhaust. And from what I get, as you can see here, this is the overall width subtracted from the base circle diameter. So that's what I get here for each one of the lobes. So this top line is the intake and this bottom line is the exhaust. And this is what I get for kind of variance with a micrometer. This is a pretty much dead on. I'm getting like 399.0, 399.3, and then once you calculate this out, it becomes 630 and 7/10. This is actually supposed to be a 0, but I get 630 and 7/10, which is close to the 629 nominal. I'm getting a little bit more, but on the bottom end, if I calculate this minimum number that I get, it's going to be slightly less, probably like 628. Or 629, yeah, it might be 627 or 628. So the exhaust, same thing. This is kind of my variance. This is pretty much stable. That's the base circle number. It's difficult measuring this width. Okay, the base circle is easy to measure. It's the lobe, it's very difficult because the way you sit on the lobe, it's very hard to get the center line of it. But this is the variation I get, 767, 766. Once you calculate it out, times the 1.7, which is the rocker ratio, I get 600 and 1/10, which is close to the 600 nominal that the cam is made. So those numbers check out. I'm happy with that. I just wanted to go ahead and verify. I have to go ahead and actually touch up this camshaft because there's a little bit of a surface rust on there. I don't know why, but I'm just going to hit it with like 2000 grit sandpaper. Really carefully and just like clean up that surface so it's nice and fresh. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, prep the cam with some assembly lube and install it in the car now.